So, some people have told me that they would like to see me do more videos without pants on, so for this video I've decided to be completely naked, with the exception of wearing a cap. You can all bask in my glorious nudity, you're all welcome, and now that is all out of the way, let's start the video. We're gonna talk about protein, that's right, I own some protein powder. So, let's start simple. Protein is necessary for building up muscle, but it's more than that. You also require it for normal energy metabolism, feeling good in general, and, well, you know, without protein there is no life. So, we require protein. Now, our current understanding of our recommendations for protein is roughly 0.4 grams per pound of body weight. And that's usually considering lean body weight, because someone that is, I don't know, let's say 5 feet 6, that weighs 250 pounds, probably does not require that amount. But here's what. So the 0.4 grams of protein, this is not actually sufficient for 100% of all people. If you look deep into the study, this pretty much is sufficient for around, I believe, 86% of all people. That means that 14% of us actually require more than that. To just be healthy, that is, mind you. The thing is, this is the bare minimum. The bare minimum to be healthy. Now, for many things, the bare minimum to be healthy is not really healthy, if you get my drift. We usually require a little bit more than that, in my opinion, and that's just to remain healthy. So, now what is enough? This is also, by the way, the bare minimum for someone that is sedentary all day long. And most of my viewers, I think, are not sedentary creatures. So there was a time in my life that I thought, hey, this 0.4 grams of protein per pound of body weight is probably sufficient. And it wasn't. Well, I could function pretty well when I was not working out, that is. But if I start to work out, I would lose energy, I would become very lethargic, and generally I did not feel well. Now, of course, this was also in a time where I was not eating enough fat, but basically I could not function well, I could not work out. So, let's talk about what is enough. The most recent studies show that what is enough for maximum muscle synthesization, this is if you are working out, the maximum amount is 0.82 grams per pound of lean body mass. So lean body mass, that is. So get your FMI checked, see how much lean mass you're carrying, 0.8 grams per pound of body weight, that should be enough. This is coming from the most recent studies. I know that people like Corey McCarthy, they recommend you to get closer to 1 gram or even 1.2 grams per pound of lean body mass. Now, my results come from the 0.82 grams. And I have had great results on that. I could try what would happen if I eat even more protein, but I doubt it will speed up my gains that much more. And also what you have to realize is that if you go from 0.8 grams to, let's say, 1 gram, that means that you have to add another 30 grams of protein per day. That's not easy for everyone. For me personally, that is not easy. He is a vegan. Corey McCarthy is a vegan and he recommends this, which I find a little bit strange because that would be, personally in my opinion, really hard to get as a vegan, especially a vegan that's going to eat mostly whole foods. Or you would have to eat tofu every day, which I personally think, I think that tofu has its place. I enjoy tofu, I enjoy soy, but I could never eat that on a daily basis. And I wouldn't recommend people to do it. So, the 0.8 grams, I'm pretty sure that works great. Works optimal for most people. The study shows that everything above that did nothing. And this is a meta-analysis of, I think, like 30 studies, if I'm correct. So this has been thoroughly studied. These findings are not poor findings. These are pretty reliable. Now, the 0.882 grams number is for optimal muscle synthesization. Now, there are days where I would get less than that. There are days where I would get like 0.6 grams. Still fine. At that number, you will still build up plenty of muscle. You're still in a phase where you will build up muscle and not break down muscle. So this is enough. And then probably to stay healthy, I would recommend probably closer to 0.5 grams for a sedentary person. For someone that works out, it's always more. Another thing that I want to mention about these studies is that what they found is that the source of protein did not matter. This means that even if you are eating peas for protein, that is just as good as eating a steak. This has been studied. And these are pretty reliable findings. Again, this is quite a big meta-analysis of many studies. In other words, even if you consider that plant protein is a little less digestible than protein from animal products, you would still get the same results if you just keep yourself to the 0.82 grams per pound of lean body weight. Now, how are we actually going to get this protein? Now, that sounds a little bit weird, right? Like, for many people, you can bet that they get enough protein. But this is not true for 100% of us. If you're really going to look at what the average person eats nowadays, many of us, we don't eat a lot of high protein sources. Some of us might eat 2 servings of meat a day, and we might eat a big fat slice of cheese, and that puts us at around, say, 50 grams of protein. And that's not even the bare minimum. This is for a meat eater. Someone that eats foods that are high in protein. Vegans tend to be better off, actually, than many meat eaters. And the reason for that is because we have this stigma that we are protein deficient. So we are kind of forced to do our research and actually find out if we do get enough protein. Vegans tend to know a lot more about protein than the average meat eater. That's just what it is. Now, so you do have to track a little bit if you are actually getting enough protein. I see many people do not get enough protein. Many of my friends, they might eat some meat, they might eat some eggs. Even that is very rare. They love cheese. I mean, the Netherlands is a really, really much of a cheese-head country. But it will probably get around 50 grams of protein, and the rest is all fat and sugar. So you do have to track this. So, me as a vegan, I get quite a lot of protein from whole plant sources. I do get around 80 to 110 grams of protein every single day. Now, lately, a week back, I was not able to get enough protein because I had a very busy week. And, surprise, surprise, I was starting to feel a little less energetic. I could still work out, but not as effectively. So, from time to time, just because time doesn't allow for it, I require some protein powder. And I would recommend people that are short on time, basically everyone, let's be honest, to take some protein powder. Otherwise, I mean, whole plant food sources of protein, the best are probably soy, lentils, and beans. But the two best are soy and lentils. Lentils are a bit better than other beans, with the exception of soy. So that's how most of us vegans get enough protein. And then of course rice is a somewhat good source. Some grains, oats if you can have them. But still, vegans that are really serious about building up muscle, I'd recommend you to get some protein powder. I mean, I don't even take it that much. I might take like 3-4 shakes a week, which adds up to like what? Another 120 grams of protein on a weekly basis. Not that much. Now for a meat eater, I mean, well, you shouldn't eat exclusively meat in my opinion. But, well, it should be a little bit easier. At least. Still track it though, because again, you can be, it could be that you become surprised about how much you're actually getting. So with that being said, I think that's all I really wanted to share about protein right now. If you guys have any questions, let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you all in the next video.